Messy action, imperfect action is better than no action at all. So essentially, again, all of these things under this umbrella of procrastination, it's just a form of self-sabotage. You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Classroom podcast. I am Sandy Patterson, your host and certified life and business coach, and I am so excited that you are here today. Now, this entire month on the podcast, we have been talking about productivity, how to get things done. We've redefined productivity. We've talked about how to show up in our businesses when we just don't feel like it. We've talked about time management, and today is the last of this month's episodes all around productivity. So today we're talking about procrastination, dun dun dun, because procrastination plays into productivity, right? All of you want to know, how do I stop procrastinating? Or maybe not all of you, but that is a question that I get often. And I think I get that question often because the people in my life think I'm crazy because I am the opposite of a procrastinator. I don't even know what you call someone that's the opposite of a procrastinator, but I am known in my family and my close friend group for doing stuff like way, way ahead of time. Like when I was a teacher, I let's just say report cards, okay, are due on March 15th. I would have mine done by Valentine's Day, just because I do not like to leave things until the last minute because it gives me I hate that feeling of rushing around and trying to, do stuff in it. I feel like that takes away from whatever is in that moment because I've got this thing going up. So for me, I just naturally am not a procrastinator. My husband, total opposite, will leave things until the very last minute. He has to do reviews at work. They're due on Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. So on Monday evening at 9 p.m., he's like, hey, can you help me with this? And I'm like, oh, why did you leave this until the last minute? It just, ugh. But I get it. And I understand that this is a real thing for so many people, especially in business. So many of my clients that I work with, they will come to me and it's not that they don't know what to do. They know exactly what they need to do. They just put it off until the last minute. So I'm curious, can you resonate with that? Are you a procrastinator or are you like me and you're a do way, way, way in advance? It's Sunday right now. It's Sunday afternoon. And I already have all of my outfits for the whole entire week, laid out and planned out. That's how much, I don't like to leave things till the last minute, even picking out what I'm going to wear in the morning. But I also know that I'm set up now for the week, so I don't have to decide. I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear all week. So I'm curious, which side do you land on? You can hop on over to Instagram and tell me. I would be so curious to hear. Okay, so let's talk about procrastination. Procrastination in business is essentially a form of self-sabotage, right? And there are a lot of reasons why people procrastinate, right? Oftentimes it can be because of a fear of failure, right? So we're putting it off. Again, not because we don't know how to do the thing. It's because we're scared that once we do it, like what's going to happen on the other end. Here's a perfect example of this. I procrastinated for weeks ordering business cards, like just very simple, like business cards off of Canva. All I have to do essentially is like press checkout and put my credit card information in and then have them delivered to my door. Procrastinate. This literally would take me probably like 5 seconds, but I am putting it off because I know that once those business cards show up on my door, well, then what? Well, then I actually have to start, passing them out and talking about my business. This happened a long time ago, so I'm just giving this example, but it's a real thing. Like what's happening on the other end? We're scared. And it's almost like, oh my gosh, once I have those business cards, that means I'm a real business and I need to be, talking about my business and in running my business and talking to other people about what I do. And what if I fail? What if nobody wants to buy my services? What if nobody wants to sign up to work with me? What if nobody signs up for this, whatever it is? That's a real thing. But again, like we always talk about, it takes some like pulling back of the layers, right? Like I wouldn't have been able to go down that path and like figure out why am I actually procrastinating unless I really sat down and asked myself those questions, right? So I had to ask, like, is it because you don't know how to do it? No. Is it because you are like, what's the real reason? Why are you putting this off? So fear of failure is definitely a real reason why people procrastinate, right? Lack of motivation can be one. In a couple episodes back, I don't remember the episode number, but I'll put it in the show notes. We talked about how to stay motivated even when you don't feel like it, because motivation is not like a common thing to have because it's just not always there. Like there's so many other things we'd rather be doing than working in our business, right? And doing like the back end stuff and doing the stuff that makes us really uncomfortable. So there's an episode a few back on how to create motivation by creating results, which essentially takes action. The results come from action. So you have to take action. So I'll link that in the show notes. Some people feel overwhelmed, so they procrastinate. Have you ever felt like, oh my gosh, there's just so much to do, and then you end up like you have this big old list of things to do, and then you end up doing actually nothing? Like you end up just looking at the list and going, okay, and then doing none of it. That's a real thing too. And we did an episode last week on time management and how to be less overwhelmed. So you can head back and listen to that. And then the last one, this is probably the number one thing that my clients, so if you're one of my clients and you're listening, this is going to resonate with you. The number one reason why most people procrastinate is perfectionism. Perfectionism can be paralyzing to getting anything done and moving forward, right? Now, we put stuff off because we want things to be perfect. And I, again, recovering perfectionist over here, I get this. I get this very, very deeply. We don't want to do something and half-ass it. We don't want to do something and it's not like, we have this perception that like we're going to produce something or make something or create something or launch something, and then people are going to go, oh, what happened here? Or there's, God forbid, a spelling mistake, or what, just those little things, like it needs to be perfect. I'm here to tell you today that it doesn't have to be perfect, right? This is a real thing. We're going to talk about how to move through this perfectionism, right? But we always say around here on the podcast and in Biz Builders, we always talk about how action, messy action, imperfect action is better than no action at all. So essentially, again, all of these things under this umbrella of procrastination, it's just a form of self-sabotage. So we're going to talk today. I'm going to give you 3 things today to stop procrastinating because it's not benefiting you. It's probably stressing you out and you're wasting time worrying. Like how many times have you like had something on your list to do and you keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it, and worrying about it. And oh, I got to get to that. I still got to get to that. And then you actually sit down and you do it and you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. I just was making up all that drama in my head and I procrastinated for no freaking reason. So today, let's chat 3 ways to overcome this procrastination for whatever reason, whether it's perfectionism, whether it's overwhelm, fear of failure, lack of motivation, or maybe there's something else that's keeping you procrastinating. These 3 tips are going to help you start to shift out of that. Okay, sound good? I'm going to assume that you just said yes. Okay, so number 1, the first thing that you can do is decide first and have a plan. So think ahead. I just talked about this in the beginning of the episode, but decide everything that you can ahead of time and have a plan. This goes like with me being a little bit cray-cray and having all of my outfits put out for the entire week already. So it's Sunday afternoon, everything's ready to go. I have our meal plan for our family all ready to go. I have all of the food I need, all of the ingredients I need. I say ingredients like I cook. I don't cook. Don't think that. But I have everything that I need out to get those dinners done. I have our schedule on the calendar so everybody knows where everybody needs to be at what time. I'm really good at thinking ahead. And this is a skill that you can learn to do. It's annoying at first, I get it, but if you want to stop procrastinating and you essentially want to make more time for yourself, you got to start to learn to think ahead. And again, you can practice this. Just take one thing and decide ahead of time. Like today, just decide what you're going to wear tomorrow and put that out right now. That's going to save you that 30 seconds, minute, 5 minutes, whatever, however long it takes you to decide what to wear in the morning. You have it all ready to go. You slip it on. You don't even have to think about it. And that mind space, that space in your mind, that energy can go towards other things that are more important. But again, this requires thinking ahead. I know some people are not great at this, like my husband. He's not great at this at all, but I'm really good at it. So I know that you can learn this. You can learn to think ahead. And you take this again, start with one small thing or one day at a time. So you don't have to have your whole meals and outfits and, schedule plan out for the week, but try just doing this for tomorrow. What are all the things that are going to be happening in your day tomorrow that you can decide now, so then when tomorrow rolls around, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to wonder or try to decide, because when you're deciding, your brain is doing this back and forth thing. Well, I could do this, or I could wear this, or I could wear that, or oh, this looks good. It eliminates all of that and essentially, again, saves you time and will help with the procrastination piece, okay? So think ahead. I'm curious what small thing you're going to think ahead for. And once you get really good at this, you can really start to think ahead too. And I know that sometimes people will say to me okay, I get what you're saying, Sandy, but I also value the importance of living in the moment. And I completely 100% agree with that. However, it's these little things that are taking away my mental space, my thoughts, my energy that I don't really care about. I don't care that much about I care what I'm wearing, but I don't care enough to want to go back and forth for an hour. I'm not 12 anymore. So it's the little things that I can decide on ahead of time. And then the same goes with your business too. Think ahead. So look at your schedule for tomorrow. What do you have going on in your business? And what can you decide today to work on tomorrow on your business when you sit down? So then again, you're not having to decide. And we've talked about this in the previous episodes this month, this idea of doing the hardest thing first. That's going to help with the procrastination too, because then you're not putting it off. And if you do the hardest thing first, that icky thing that you just don't want to do, then you're going to feel motivated. There's that motivation piece, right? To do more things that are easier, right? So that's number 1. Decide first, have a plan, and think ahead, okay? Oh, look, number 2 is making decisions ahead of time. So it's the same thing. So I guess number 1 and 2 are the same thing. So maybe this is just 2 things that can help you to stop procrastinating. That's fine. Okay, so let's jump to number 3. Number 3 is accountability. And again, I probably sound like a broken record, but that's okay. You need to hear this. get yourself an accountability partner. So somebody that is going to help you do what you say you want to do. Okay. Your accountability partner can be a friend. It can be a coach. It can be what are those called? A mastermind group. It could be a community of people. It could be whoever you want, whoever you feel comfortable with. But here's the thing. Your accountability partner has to be someone that is going to push you. And when I say push you, I mean when you show up and you say, oh, I was going to order those business cards, but I didn't, I got too busy, or whatever your excuse is. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, totally, me too, I'm so busy too. Okay. No, they're going to say, what the heck, why didn't you do it? Sit down and do it right now. That's literally going to take you 10 minutes. If that, probably 5, probably 3. Okay, you got to get somebody that's really going to push you. And this is a huge part of coaching, and a really big piece of what I do with my clients too is holding them accountable, right? So many of my clients have told me that they know that I'm going to come after them, but I don't actually come after people. They say that in a loving way, but they know that I'm going to be asking them, and I'm going to be messaging them on Voxer, and I'm going to be checking in. And when they don't do it, they know I'm going to be right there, like, hello, where are you? What's going on? And the other piece of this too is that we figure out what the reason is for the procrastination. So again, talk about this all the time too. It's never just a Band-Aid quick fix with me. It is always digging deeper to figure out what the story is, figure out what the belief is, and how to rewrite it so that this is a sustainable change. Like I'm not making this episode for you so you don't procrastinate tomorrow or you don't procrastinate this week. I want to see a lasting change for you, because those lasting changes are really what define this beautiful life that you're craving, right? You can't just fix something for a day or a week or even a month and then expect everything to shift. This work that we do in coaching takes time. It takes accountability and it takes intentionality, right? So I'm never ever going to just let it slide, or I'm never ever going to be like, oh, you said you were going to do that and you didn't. Okay, no worries, no big deal. Do it this week or do it next time. No, it's me asking you those questions about, well, why do you think this happened? What got in the way? What is what questions can we ask here to dig a little bit deeper and figure out why you didn't show up for yourself like you said you were going to, because that's where those sustainable, lasting changes happen. Okay, you guys. So it was supposed to be 3 tips, but it actually kind of turned into 2 because I mixed 1 and 2 together. So to recap, how to overcome procrastination. Number 1 and 2-ish is decide first. So make decisions ahead of time and have a plan. And you can absolutely practice thinking ahead. So thinking ahead to what's coming up, thinking ahead to what decisions you're going to make, what's going to need to get done in order to execute, and doing as much as you can beforehand. Okay? And then the last one is that accountability piece. Get yourself an accountability partner that's going to hold you accountable and that's going to ask you those deep, deep questions to figure out why you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Let me share some of those deep questions here too, so you can ask yourself these questions too if you need to. So these are some of the questions that I ask my clients when they show up and they haven't completed something that they said they were going to do, or they're essentially procrastinating, right? So the first question is, what got in the way? Now that one's usually easy to answer because people will be like, oh, well, I had to take my kids here and I had to do this and then I had this and they had this meeting. And so those are the things that got in the way. The mic drop question after that is usually always, why did you allow those things to get in the way? That one is a stop and think, look up to the left. Let me think about that question. What is this really about? What's the fear around completing X, Y, or Z? What's important to you? And the last one, why did you commit to this in the first place? Let's go back and revisit your why. Those are questions that you can ask yourself too as you find yourself procrastinating. And my whole goal, like I said, is for you to listen to this episode and to have a few little strategies, tips, tricks, things to think about. And now you have some deep questions also to ask yourself when you notice yourself procrastinating. Okay, you guys, this was a wonderful episode. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. And if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure that you leave a review. It will literally take you 3 seconds just to hit the stars. Or if you wanted to go above and beyond and leave a written review too, I love all of the reviews. I appreciate them. I appreciate you being here. And what that review does is it just gets this podcast into the hands or ears of more women just like you. Okay, you guys, until next time. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.